Monday. Not today, though. Howdy, everybody. Let me check here. Turn that
Welcome to
off.
Kathmandu.
Ready but not ready. Okay. How's everyone? Hopefully everyone's great for this here 22nd of January 2023. We are in. 7 years from now, we will be in 2030. Can you believe 2030? We got all these wonderful numbers to go through. Anyhow, we got Adrian with us today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I emailed her, said, would you like to join us on Sunday? She said yes, and then I forgot to email her back until today. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure she, as long as she accepted, she knows she's coming. So it's, I had a week. It was special. It was good special, but it was special.
This is special for the person who said that the cats were distracting and that she apparently was the only one brave enough to tell me last week.
There was, I'm going to say it because I'm going to be petty today. I really am. My shirt is not stuffed with snacks. I mean, there might be one or two. Mind your business. Someone last week said that Jen shouldn't have her cats on the camera because it's distracting and people are too afraid to say it. So if you're watching today, there's the cats just for you. Just so you know.
Because everybody else is always like, where are the cats?
As I said in the comments, go watch you a dog video somewhere if you're just that distracted and you don't like it. I don't know what else to tell you. But that is all the time we shall spend on negativity because that is not what rules over here. As I said, there is no 50-50. It's more like a 99-1. So anybody got any announcements?
Oh, and I helped her go watch something else. She's blocked.
Okay.
So just helping you out a little bit.
Here's the thing. Has she just been like, listen, me personally, the cats, cat butt in my face, a little distracting. I would be like, okay, you're still going to go in the trash, but okay. It is when somebody feels the need to speak on behalf of is when I'm like, go kick rock. I hope the next rock you kick is actually solidified doo-doo. And as soon as your toe makes contact, it splats.
On behalf of all 12,000 who watch our videos every week, it was funny because somebody commented, if I could give you 1,000 thumbs down, I would.
On her comment.
I said, you probably don't like that the Christmas tree's still up either.
You can't make everybody happy.
We sure can.
But bless you.
Like this. It's so sweet.
And here's the thing though. Like there's other people and look at them. I ain't got nothing moving in mine. So
there's readers that don't have cats.
I don't. We got allergies in this house. We can't do cats.
It's just some people will just complain about anything. Anything. I don't like your background. Change it.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going to come over here and redecorate my house?
Your horns, because you wore them on Christmas.
Yeah.
Complained about
obviously that person has no clue because I wear them every day.
Donnie, I need you to go back to the white table because the black one is
my screen was too close.
It's distracting, okay?
Lord Jesus. Oh well, but to balance it out, we had a lot of lovely comments too about, and we get this all the time. Love the Sunday shows, never miss it. Love this, love that. So it's
I hear it every day when I'm doing personal readings. Tell Becca and Johnny I said hi.
I'm part of the Petty Boots Club. There you go. Good for you. But ain't everybody cup of tea. I do understand. Some people are very sacred about their geometry, so I get it, but that ain't me. Anyhow, any any announcements from anybody? I do shuffle too loud, don't I?
Thank you for all the well wishes this week, guys. I had a lot of text messages from people I've read for and emails and stuff. So thank you for that. I'm lisping a little bit from the dental work, but little bruised, a little swollen still, but feeling much better.
Awesome.
Okay, are you still booking readings now?
Yep.
Okay.
Into February now.
JenLynTarot.com. Book your reading. I don't shuffle loud enough. Or don't challenge me now. Wait a minute.
Don't book a reading if you don't want to see the kittens, because they usually show up even in the personal ones. If you're Skyping it.
Oh, Lord. And if you want products and services, you go to redlentilhealing.com as well. Open roads for sale. Open road spray, cracks and crevices, keep your hands moist. Meditation oil, which I absolutely love. Aches Be Gone, which I absolutely love, especially for me with the broken neck syndrome. I got the broken neck mountain, so it helps me a lot. So make sure you go redlentilhealing.com and get your whole life together.
I think Lori and I are possibly, Lori from the Way of Positive Change, I think we're going to be going live like within the next week and a half or something like that. And then I'll also be going live with Kelly from Dozen Cats Sunday the 12th at 3 p.m. Eastern, because I lost track of time week before last and couldn't join her. So we're going to do a makeup show on the 12th.
We busy. They got to work around us now, man. G.
I felt so bad. I was like, oh dear God. Oh no. Join her on the 12th, and then Lori and I sometime next week.
Is that Valentine's? I know she said, well, no, that's 2 weeks.
She's talking about doing a Valentine's
We're
live.
gonna do a Valentine's stream too. So keep a lookout for that. The Way of Positive Change YouTube and all that good stuff.
Becca did a fabulous grand tableau Friday night on Jack Smith. Yes, I was
Really good.
dying waiting for it. So I curled up on my sofa, took my Advil, held the kitties, and listened intently. It was awesome.
I finally got around to going live, other than a Sunday, because I had a personal reading, and I was like, you should get your ass on YouTube. Because it's like, if somebody doesn't drag me, I won't do it. So.
I'm looking forward to if you do a part 2 on his and do some of the chains and stuff in it, because it was interesting.
Yeah, I'll revisit it later on. I put some on the list, so I'll see if someone kicks me in the butt to go live on YouTube.
Yeah, I had to rewind because I missed the very beginning where you were going through some of the stuff from McCarthy's Grand Tableau that you did back a few months. It was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier when you've already got everything set up to then go live. But you only have to plug in a couple things, but it still seems like moving mountains sometimes. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
because you can't just plug it in and that's fine. You still have to be on. So it's it's a different thing.
And then all the brain power too from you started doing GTs tableaus on with the tarot, and it takes a lot of.
It takes a whole lot, and yours is even more because you use the whole deck. I couldn't imagine using 72 cards or 78 on that.
Yeah, so
I just love the layers in a Grand Tableau. Like you can read it this way or you can read it this way. The multiple meanings and layers in it.
Mm-hmm. So
it's draining.
It's like that's why I'm like drinking like 4 or 5 cups of coffee, because before I know it, I'm like, dude, my brain is dumb right now. Like, get more caffeine, it'll work. So I'll try to go. Somebody kick me in the ass this week and be like, go live. Johnny, Jenny, Adrian, somebody. We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe we'll go live and then we'll sit over, how I'm trying to point at the screen right now to see what I'm touching. Like we go in the little small box and then you be in the big box or something like that. Maybe motivate.
That would be fun. Or we can bounce, or like you and I should do a GT. Like you do it with yours.
And then you do it with, okay.
That sounds like it would be
interesting.
Yeah.
I'll be in the background hyping you up. Just around my neck, like, yeah, boy. Back in the house.
Well, maybe perfect segue to there is a musician by the name of Pros Michelle. He used to be Pros Michael, if you want to say it that way, who used to be in the Fugees. The Fugees is a hip-hop / R&B group from back in the 90s. Very good songs, some of them. He has been indicted back in 2019. A very big scheme. He's not the only one. It's a very, very big involved thing. Possibly the largest money laundering / scheme ever. He's just a part of it. And the reason this is making political news is because he wants Donald Trump and Barack Obama to testify in his court case.
For what? Wait, I lost the plot.
We're getting there. We're going up the hill right now.
I was like, I lost the
I missed
plot.
this story. You gotta get details.
Only over here in left field, I have no idea what's going on.
I missed this one.
Oh, wait. Buy free hippie spirit. Go find something else to do, sugar. Thank you. So he has one. Let me get the picture. Actually, let me get the picture because it's numbers. It's a numbers thing. It's a numbers thing. Where is it at? So there's a man. They call him John Lowe, and he is from Malaysia. John Lowe in Praz, and John Lowe and a man in Saudi Arabia, and John Lowe and another man from Malaysia. And they all put money into a marketing scheme to boost the economy of Malaysia. And then they were moving money to Swiss bank accounts and then moving money into Goldman Sachs, which would turn into bonds, which they would then distribute to people on the ground who would then wash them in Beverly Hills mansions and private jets and trips to the casinos and political campaigns. And Praz, the member of the Fugees, spent $21 million to back the efforts of Obama's reelection in 2012. That was part of that washed money from Malaysia. And that continued into Trump's term as well, because again, it's just washed money. They don't really care about the candidate. They're just moving money around. And so since it was him that was doing it for these candidates, he wants those candidates to testify in his court case. Because his attorneys says we are planning on calling former President Trump and former President Obama. Their subpoenas are going out for service today. So, will they testify? Number one. Number two, how's this going to end for him?
But isn't there a cap on how much an individual can donate?
Yes.
And foreign donations are.
It wasn't $21 million at once. It was just $21 million in an effort to back campaigns.
Okay, so
The original source was foreign money?
Yes. It was a Malaysian sovereign wealth fund named 1MDB. 1M as in Mary, D as in dog, B as in boy. 1MDB, if you want to look it up, because it's very, very, very convoluted, because it's a bunch of money going in a whole bunch of different places by a whole bunch of different people. Only one person so far, other than him, has been detained. Somebody else was cleared of wrongdoing and let go. And money from Saudi Arabia, from I think it was 7 different countries actually, going into this 1MDB. So, yeah. Are they going to testify for him or in his case? And what's going to happen to him? I don't know what he wants them to say. It's like, I'm pretty sure they didn't know.
I got you, Jim.
He didn't give the money to them directly. So
there's something that they do know. There's something that maybe went across their desks as president. I think they're going to be forced to make the subpoena. So what they may do is they're going to testify on some type of money, something that they knew about being in the seat of former presidents. Now, Trump may not, Obama may, because he don't show up to his own shizzle, but change of perspective. There's going to be something that comes out or something. It's not about what I'm getting. It's not necessarily about this. It's about something bigger that ties to this. Hope healing with the star card. Page of Pentacles about the money, but the star is usually one of my yes cards. There's something that they're gonna, and it may not be like, it may be like a deposition, like something recorded ask a couple questions. So don't get all like, oh, it's this big court case and we're going to see President Obama show up at, New York court. It's nothing like that. There's a bigger picture of something that this is tied to finance. I mean, obviously because it's finances, but he's going to jail, justice, Four Swords, and the Knight of Wands. He's going to go get locked up for a while. There's some type of corruption, disruption, soluption behind this. He wasn't just giving money to be kind and generous. There was some gonna come out. So I think he's gonna go. He may go to the penitentiary for a little while.
I get he's lying about Obama. Because I pulled separate cards for Obama versus Trump. I get he's lying about Obama, trying to get people to look at it differently. I get there'll be an investigation into the corruption, but I get it's a lie. So I don't think Obama's going to get dragged into it. I get Trump, hell no, unless the court subpoenas him strongly, then he would testify. But he's going away. He's going to jail. There's an abundance of other connections that are going to come out in this because there's a whole bunch of sneaky thievery going on with this. So
it'd be funny if Trump does show up, though, because he'll show up and admit to like 50 other crimes that he committed. Like thinking a picture of that lady Eugene Carroll was Marla Maples.
Mm-hmm.
What a dumbass. I got the letter, the tower, and the mountain. The official notice is blocked and delayed. So I don't think Obama's going to go. So
I didn't get anything on them, but I did get for him 9 of Cups in the world. That thing that he wishes for, the thing that he wants, the greed on the worldwide level as well, too. 3 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords. You should be more worried about the connections you made. The 3 of Pentacles is that collaboration, that big, huge 1 MBD effort that they had moving all around the world. You got caught. You know things. You know people. 9 of Swords. There's worry. There's stress. Anxiety. Anxiety is the worrying about the future, the thing yet to come. What is he going to say? What is he going to do? Word of warning, 3 of Swords. What are you going to say? What are you going to do? Can you really spell my name? Do you know my name? Are you going to forget? Are you going to not recollect? This type of thing, 10 of Wands, there's going to be a lot of burden upon you by this collaborative effort. You should be more concerned with those in power for manipulation than you are for trying to get people to testify on your behalf. Your goose is cooked, okay? It just is.
And you better not get near a window and get.
I'm saying. Swing low, sweet chariot, my son. So you might want to just focus on doing your time. Because if you're going to go full Manafort and not give up anything, then they're going to give you some time, and then you may have some connections and say, okay, I appreciate you not saying anything. I can put $10 on your book so you can get you some camels or something, or I don't know. But
don't visit the Turkish embassy because,
be careful.
PBS will get you for entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
So, I'm trying not to be petty while I'm trying to be petty at the same time. I'm trying not to be extra, is what I'm trying not to do. Because you probably still hear y'all don't ever just go away like roaches. For the person who said that we were bitching too much for you and you had to leave, you could have just left. But speaking of bitching and Jerry Springer-like behavior, Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene got into a fight in the girls' room. I don't know why it's funny. It's not funny because they run in this country, but
it's funny.
It's
funny.
And of course it was the bathroom. Of course it was the bathroom. I was not surprised.
Trash, man, trash, both of them. Like that lady said, I forget who the subscriber was that said last week to keep Lo and Bobert busy to give her a bag of M&Ms and have her put them in alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order.
And as Johnny said, she'll complain they're all W's.
You gave me a bag full of W's. What am I supposed to
Don't make me laugh so much.
But that applies to both of them. They're just equally like between the both of them, they share like 15 brain cells.
I was thinking 5, Becca, but okay.
5? Okay, I was being generous, Adrian. Thank you. A combined IQ of like 12 between the both of them.
Somebody commented, I think it was on SNL, thanking MTG for doing drag well in Congress.
Oh my God.
Making fun of George Santos like he does it bad, but MTG does it well.
She did that to
So-
herself.
I actually, believe it or not, I do have a serious question in this. I just want to push that little piece of petty in there, though. Will this escalate to the point where someone gets actually hurt, like hospitalized?
Cat fight.
Like will it get physical?
Well,
Yes.
will they be holding one of them off like they were holding that guy off of Matt Gaetz during the voting?
But like, there's there's seriousness though, because they did. Y'all, YouTube, calm down. They did remove the metal detectors.
That's
She
right.
does come in.
They're
LB
back
comes in strapped and ready. She's
They're
proud
back.
of this.
That's what I want to know. Is this going to escalate? I can't do this. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna say this, y'all don't at me, as they say, as the chair would say. I'm just glad they ain't black. That's all I
And Democrats. I'm just glad they're not black Democrats, because I'm just like,
By the way, speaking of black, I heard that Trump ruined the eulogy at Diamond's funeral.
You attend?
yeah,
Oh my God.
it was bad.
I had everybody on mute.
This is why you don't invite them places. Like,
My God, you're being petty already.
I mean, this ain't pretty.
I had the Empress on the bottom, and I heard your mama, yo mama.
Can you just imagine those two fighting, like yanking each other's wigs off their heads, freaking like.
Oh, Becca, don't imagine. We'll see it soon.
yeah.
We'll see it
Yeah.
soon. Because
I'm gonna make you suffer until I'm the victor. Hell yes, this will keep moving forward till death do us part.
but for real though,
stronger than the other one.
I have a follow-up petty question.
Yes, ma'am.
But well, I got the same thing that Jen gets. Yes, it's going to continue. 9 of Wands, 10. I'm sorry. 9 of Pentacles. God dang it, Adrian. 9 of Cups, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. This is not good. Yes, they're going to fight, and their challenge is disharmony because the challenge is 3 Cups. This is, yes, they're going to keep going. And I think there was probably, I got the 8 of Pentacles in the past. This is not the first time either. This is just, this was the time that because of all the drama that's gone on, they've scrapped before.
I get the division, the divide between them will continue to grow significantly. So if I could be a fly on the wall, or everybody in Congress with your cell phones, record it.
Maybe watching C-SPAN to see what busts out on the House floor.
I can't even call them trailer trash because ain't nothing wrong with living in a trailer. They're scum is what they are, but I need a more appropriate adjective than that. The Ace of Pentacles in the 8 of Cups. Ace of Pentacles, first card. There's your confirmation. Yes, it will. Eight of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Two of Swords. Here's the problem too, is you're not going to have anyone, because the word of warning is whoever's supposed to be in charge. You're not going to have anyone who is the mediator, who is going to stop this. Because this is not new. Everybody knows this already. So if you already know they don't like each other, then maybe you should have some sort of sit down and say, look here, or something. Three of Cups. The harmony is not really there with the Moon card. So what are you going to do? They're not the same person, like at all. And so, yes, someone is going to eventually get hurt. Five of Pentacles. And I told you so. Yes, ma'am.
Can we see who's going to win the fight?
Yes, please. My head was going there, being petty.
I want to see who's going to win.
And can I ask a question after Adrian, please?
Yes, ma'am.
If I were a betting woman.
If I was on the house floor and they broke out in a cat fight, I wouldn't break them up.
First of all, you don't break up two women fighting, period. You let them fight until they're done.
They'll pull a Stevie Rose and shoot somebody's eye out.
I feel bad for who's going to have to clean up all that weave off the floor.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking. MTG has the worst tracks ever, and I cannot on the floor. Get out of my head. I was just thinking that. And then I'll be like, I'd be really surprised if we come to find out the lower and Bobert would have a couple tracks in her
walking out with patches of bald head all over the place. Her weaves just got snatched.
Then they'll go from MTG to Patches. That'll be her new. Because here's my thing. This is why let them go. Because I don't condone fights nor violence. I want to see videos of people fighting and all that. But those are two people that can conduct themselves like that in front of the world, maybe with that close to get rid of them. Maybe. I don't know. People like that kind of stuff, so I don't know.
And those two are the ones that do condone that type of behavior towards others.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the blonde, muscular one. That's more mannish.
The one that does squats.
The one that's roided out.
I get the dark one has to go away, has to sneak away, has to try to get away, try to lay low.
Yeah, I think Marjorie Taylor Greene would win this one. The thing that's interesting though is that what she's gonna she thinks more people would come in to have her back, but they're not. So she's gonna have to fight by herself. She gonna win though. She gonna mollywop the hood stink off Lil Bobert, but yeah, because I can't get anything positive. Bobert ain't gonna win nothing. She's not gonna win.
She's gonna throw her around like a rag doll. That girl weighs 20 pounds soaking wet.
I mean, and let's not forget MTG goes do that whole CrossFit stuff too. Yeah,
she got all them monkey hormones going through her blood, so she ain't got no choice but to be He-Man. Yeah, the MTG, that's the one who will do the damage. Now, that's if Fisticuffs is involved. Who knows about Miss Shooters over there? Anyway, Becca, what was your question?
Unless they've already announced it, but why don't they like each other? Is it because the hoe in me recognizes the hoe in you and I want to be the bigger hoe? Because I mean, because Marjorie Taylor Greene, for as much as she likes to stand on her soapbox for what a great Christian she is, she's an adulteress. And then the other one is an escort, which there ain't nothing wrong with sex work. You go do what you want to do, girl. Like
that with the husband who hit on minors, exposed himself to minors.
So I mean, like, what's the beef? I don't.
We're not in the same clique. It started to fracture more and more, and then once I think one of them was able to join the Freedom Caucus and the other one wasn't, and that's what really splintered it. And then it really boiled over the last couple weeks with the trying to vote for old stank ass.
Oh, for Kevin McCarthy, but I thought they were both in the Freedom Caucus.
Something like because Marjorie, one of them got pulled from something recently, and the other one got to stay in, and that's where it started to fracture.
Because I remember Horseface getting kicked off basically because she was advocating for violence against other members of the House, so she got kicked off all her committees.
Yeah, so it started fracturing. Then it just the divide grew wider.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, that was the question.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, I know the answer. My bad. What really caused the friction?
Matt Gaetz and his horse jumping. Now he don't like MTG anymore. Now he's Bobert's best friend.
Yeah, it's weird cliquish stuff going on. Oh, okay.
Alpha female battle. That's what Running Sloth is saying.
I get it.
I don't know, but between both of them, they're sharing a brain cell between the two. So,
somebody said something that got out about how the other one is proximity or was able to get money. The division grew a little bit worse because of Trump with the emperor. Again, it's all about money. Somebody said something, knew something about how the giving and receiving of financial funds, and the other one is out in the cold. They really are just fighting because one of them perceivably gets more donations or knows something about money and open their mouth and said it, because the whole thing starts with the Eight of Wands. Loose lips sink ships.
I got the Eight of Wands on the bottom too, and I also get the surprising transition away from the base with all the insurrectionists and the erratic people. So Marjorie Taylor Greene moving away from the Quackenoners. That movement away set off Boebert to kind of watching her and not trusting her and feeling a little left out.
I got a woman gossiping or speaking to an audience. So there's something that a woman said to an audience or a woman that was gossiping to the party. So at the center of it, it's verbal communication, gossiping, talking, something that was said. I don't know what that is.
Everything that come out their mouth. Because I get the moon. There's your treachery. That can be your gossip too as well. I get the Chariot, the Nine of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Moon. So it has something to do partnerships and greed, personal finance as well.
Oh wait, didn't Lauren Boebert start talking a bunch of trash to Marjorie Taylor Greene because she was going to white nationalist rallies and stuff?
Even Boebert called that wrong. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's low of even Boebert saying that's wrong.
The demon judges the devil, I suppose. Okay. Speaking of demons and devils, there is a film at the Sundance Film Festival you all said called Justice. So my question is, will this have any consequence on Brett Kavanaugh? Is his name Brett Kavanaugh? What's his name?
It's about Brett Kavanaugh. And the producer went and interviewed a bunch of the people that had tried to report to the FBI when he was in confirmation hearings, for those that haven't heard about the film.
I was watching something from some of the people who were there, and they said it's actually really, really, really good. Very moving.
Very well done.
Yeah. They said your heart breaks, because it's mostly women, and they said your heart just breaks for these women.
They introduced at Sundance Justice, this movie about Brett Kavanaugh, and also the George Clooney movie on Jim Jordan. It was a hot Sundance this year.
Can I go, please? I have to go get the peanut. I get no. He's got a life-term position. You ain't getting. You're not going to we call it like him out of there. He's not going anywhere. No. I'll be back.
What's victorious? Because it starts off, work could be his work coming to an end or some. Let me pull a clarifier. Please hold. Who's victorious then?
Thank you, Karen, for reposting the questions.
Bound and trapped. Something's bound and trapped. I'm gonna say nothing comes of it from a legal standpoint, but I think something. I wonder if the movie gets squelched. If something happens to it. Because there's a victory somewhere. Somebody's dissatisfied with the movie. Obviously, it could be Kavanaugh, or it could be that something happens to Kavanaugh. I think his reputation. Okay. His reputation was already kind of trash, though.
Yeah, but that was like just one woman and the rumors of 4,000 tips. Now they're putting on film. Here's the other women. Thank you, Pamela. I get his lifestyle. Like it shows his lifestyle. Like this is a way of life for this man. He does not know how to treat women. That there'll be a new investigation that comes in. And start looking at all the tips and everything that weren't looked at before. Mm-hmm. And that's going to put Brett in defense mode. So I think what's going to happen is more judgment from and looking at it with a different perspective with what comes out through an investigation. So I do get there'll be justice done because he's trapped in this. I think he'll end up getting impeached by Congress and get removed that way because he ultimately goes away with his head bowed.
Because there's work that comes to an end. I get that.
It's got to have people working from both sides of the aisle in Congress to come together to say, look at all this information, share all this information, and then it's like he goes away. But it's going to be a while. They got to get the investigation going.
That's where it gets murky for me because I can't see an investigation. I do get some work coming to an end. I get this planting the seeds for something. I also get the money. This is where it starts to derail with where it gets into. Thank you, John, for the super chat. It starts to derail. Something is victorious though. Like nothing else makes sense. But this is trap. This is gonna entrap him somehow, some way. But he did it to himself.
Maybe that's the question we should start with. While you go, Johnny, I'm going to look at will they restart the investigation because they had over 4,000 tips that never got investigated. They got handed to the White House and nothing done.
Because I got reputational too. Like that's the damage. Because I still get the 2 cards of legal, so he is still in his position with the judge and the lawyer. So he's still in his position. But the Knight of Wands and the Sun, there's something around his actions that were illuminated. And so not just his actions, but possibly some control type actions, like he was trying to either force someone for something, or he was lording over someone or in duress or something like that. So there's something around that, and also places where he would sleep. I'll say it that way. There's something about him being in places he should not have been, even in an official role. I don't know if he was head of something at some point or someone's boss or something of that nature, but there's something just around reputation. The word of warning is the Knight of Cups. So things around partying and dates and drinking and sexual things and all of that type of stuff. There you can see it's like reputation is further damaged, but I don't see a legal action. But this is ramping up though too. So it's almost as if a lot of stuff is going on. There's seven of swords, 6 of pentacles. A lot more information is being shared. So we're like going up the hill, and then you need this person up here to take an action. Thank you, Margaret. If this person takes no action, then it just slowly descends back into not becoming a news story anymore. So it's kind of like the Trump thing, to where you can pile all of the accusations you want, but if nobody charges them, it means nothing. So it's the same thing here in some sense anyway.
I also wonder too, before he can get there, because here's the 5 of swords, he goes in somebody on his side before communication, before anything can get illuminated, they kind of squash it. They go and pull the cord.
So I think this will end up being a tower moment for him, because they're going to return to and look at differently all that information that was given. They're also going to look at the money and the details around the money, that like who paid him off, paid off all his debts, the partying, the drinking, all his good time stuff. I think the Republicans will try to block any investigation on him, but I do feel like an investigation will move forward on him, and he's going to regret it, because I get justice coming.
Well, speaking of regrets,
can you imagine having 4,000 tips on you for your behavior? Can you imagine 4,000 tips?
Listen,
I mean, that's mind-blowing.
I accidentally said shit in a team meeting last week, and I'm scared the 4 people on my team is going to rat me out to HR.
I mean,
I don't 4,000.
I don't know that I know 4,000 people that I've ever partied with or had a beer with. 4,000.
Shrek, I don't know 4. Are you kidding me?
You think about it, like you go to a party, there may be 20, 30 people there, maybe.
Last time I had a drink out in public, I have a picture of it, so I know who to blame if I ever hear something about it. You were one of those people sitting there too.
I know. At the restaurant at the mall.
My glasses was like this. That's what they were.
It was really tasty, because I ordered the same thing Johnny was drinking, and it was fruity and tasty.
Mm-hmm. It was just like I remember.
And Johnny's looking at me like, "It's so weird seeing you here." It's like, what the hell?
It was strange.
Sorry.
I'm gonna try to go see Adrian next year, because my niece is moving closer to where you are, and so fingers crossed. We'll see.
I wish I would have known you were around in the area when you were.
It was so last minute, you need to go to look at work kind of thing. And I was like, oh, but I'll be back in March, so I'll give you I'll give you those details.
Yeah, just text me or whatever. That'd be fun to hang out.
Next time I'll have a rental vehicle, because having to rely on, I have to stand on the street corner with my thumb out, and I had to do that. And I've learned that, that part of California was probably not the best place to hitchhike. And that's why they say that God protects children and idiots. So there's that.
Yeah, I had one of them too. When my Uber left me at the post office. So ain't that special? It's like, I'm glad it ain't dark, because Jesus. But okay. As I was saying, speaking of regrets, DeSantis is trying to block white people from learning about black people, because that would scar somebody somewhere. I'm pretty
sure. He didn't try to block; he blocked it.
Yes. So he doesn't want AP, African American Studies, anywhere close to Florida.
Can I just say one thing? If I was an AP teacher, I'd change the name of that course to White History, and I would tell them everything white people did to black people in this country. I would just change the name of the course.
It is unbelievable what that little Nazi's doing. But please put him on the national stage and make him your presidential nominee, so we can reject him just like we did Trump.
He may win.
So here's the sad question. Is there going to be any political fallout from his banning of African American studies? Because mind you, their excuse is it's riddled with misinformation. That's the excuse. There be any political fallout for Ron the racist?
Mind you, the state of Florida can't buy a teacher right now.
Let's be real.
Buy teachers.
It's something else to say on that.
Like, ugh.
And here's my thing. Okay. Here's my problem. Is 50 years from now, when our population, the 300 million or whatever we're hovering around, knows nothing and can do nothing,
That's what they want.
what do we do then? Do we just become another piece of the Republic of China? Do we become another arm of Russia? What are we going to be? Because we think we're the strongest country on earth because you have everybody else standing at your back. That's why. But somebody can easily overtake you when your population knows nothing. And this is not just about African American studies. This is about everything, taking the science out of science, taking the math out of math, it's taking books out of school, rewriting history. Things happened, okay? We live in a country built by Black people for white people on the bodies of Native Americans. That's our history. You don't have to like it. I ain't calling you a racist. I ain't calling you the worst person that ever exists because all white people don't come from the same place. So what I am saying, though, is history, learn from it, move on. If you have a problem with your child learning something about another race of people, the problem is not in your child or the curriculum, it's in you. So what do we do 50 years from now when your children know nothing because you're afraid to be uncomfortable?
Well, as Stephen King said, for every time they ban a book, get to the library or the bookstore and get it and read it and see why they don't want you to know what's in that book.
I just saw something on the news a couple of months ago that there was a teacher, I forget what county in Florida, that had a whole slew of books banned from the library. A teacher. So it's like, so public libraries aren't safe, school libraries aren't safe. These idiots are going up after bookstores too. They're losing those cases.
It's the same people that wanted the 10 Commandments and all the Capitol buildings and stuff. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Separation of church and state. If you don't want to read it, you don't have to.
Mm-hmm. And then you got the idiot over there, Miss Constipation, with the eyebrows like this. That used to be the press secretary. What's her name?
Huckabee. Yeah.
Hucka Sanders. Yeah, she just won governor in her state, and she's doing the whole ban on critical race theory. And it's like, it's not even taught, you idiot. Like,
my governor, that's how my governor won his race, was a block on CRT that doesn't exist in any Virginia school since the history of ever.
It's
now Virginians are pissed because our inflation's ridiculous. Nobody can buy property. Nobody can sell their property.
You can sell. You just better have a shack somewhere to go live in because you won't be able to afford another house.
The taxes, they're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, and I'm like, this is what you bought and paid for this, all because of that critical race theory that you bought into. But okay.
50 years when you know nothing. Meanwhile, you vote based upon feelings, and then the rest of your life crumbles down. It's like we got the person we want, but we can't buy a house, can't buy a car, can't buy food, can't. Okay, but you got your good racist
people that are totally cool with overthrowing the Constitution and how quickly they forgot their beloved Second Amendment is enshrined and protected by the Constitution. So that's all you need to know.
That's the first thing I thought. I was like, so you want to get rid of the Constitution? What's going to happen to your right to bear arms?
They don't think about that.
They
don't think about that.
So, I'm not getting it's about the African American studies. I get that there's an unfinished investigation that will cause his supporters to turn their back on him. This is going to be the terror moment. And I think this has to do with the immigration crap that he's done. What a waste of taxpayer money and stuff. This is what's going to bring change there and burden DeSantis and have him walking away.
Whatever that is, it's coming very soon. Jen, I'm with you because he's created. Ooh, he thought he was slick. There's something this is a smoke screen. I think, like you
He
said,
manipulated it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because in the past, it's something he did in the past to manipulate. Because that's what I get in the past. It's starts off with the Seven of Swords. The thing is that he screwed himself because he blocked himself. He put himself in a little bit of a trap right now. It was like he could care less about African American studies. He blocked this because there's something else that somebody else wanted, and he said, "I'll do this for you." As long as you don't let what I did in the past slip out, cover this for me. The thing is that this is happening quickly. There is a change. People are like, what? WTF? And I keep hearing they're going to go, well, it's not about the blacks. It's what are they going to block next? That they're like, I don't know. It's going to cause him to have to go and withdraw, kind of come back, think on this. He's going to have to come up. His word of solace is he's going to have to come up with something quick, a new strategy, new talking points, something. But he's seen as erratic. This was to cover, and it's somebody in the Republican Party, because here's my Republican Party with the 10 of Cups, obviously, and the 5 of Wands, the fighting. He did this as a makeup, as like, okay, I got you, just leave me alone. But it's gonna come out, baby.
Well, he got slapped on the wrist for that attorney general he tried to have fired that he thought was being too woke. But then I don't think they reinstated that guy, did they? It was like something weird with that lawsuit.
No, he's not. I don't think he's reinstated because it's still
in the courts.
Topic of conversation still.
I get travelers were moved somewhere else. Now, I'll say this. These are 3 action cards that says that he'll be moving away during an election. However, I'll believe it when I see it, because what's her name? That conservative lady, that Hispanic that's always on CNN. She used to be on The View. Navarro was talking about how Ron DeSantis has gamed the system in Florida so bad that it's almost impossible to get rid of him. You know, even if the entire population in Florida goes out to vote, it's nearly impossible because of the way that he's gamed the system. So I'll believe it when I see it, but I get it has to do not so much with banning black people. Also, I mean, you can have that. You can also translate it as that too, because what are they trying to say now? That slavery wasn't slavery; it was not forced labor, forced relocation. So there's, moving away, visitors, and then you see what I'm saying? So it's like
trying to relanguage it.
Yeah, but I don't get it's that. It has to do with people that are here, but that he sends them somewhere else. But like I said, I'll believe it when I see it.
Will this have negative political fallout? Yes and no. I get he will regret it by the 5 of Cups. This will be something he regrets. I don't know if this is just karmically or just politically or what, but there will be a regret in this. That does not mean he is regretful, as in he is remorseful, but he will regret this, as in it will be some sort of painfulness. I don't know. But as far as politically goes, he's still fine. 6 of Wands. He sits in a position of power. People who are with him are with him. You don't have to explain your mindset to people who already think like you. So, but what he is defending upon is the relocation of something. The Knight of Wands, your relocation card, your 7 of Wands, your defendant. So there's something about moving something that he will have to defend against. One of them streams, I think it was the last time when we were over here, is one of his people is under investigation because they wrote the language for the relocation. And he used to work for DeSantis, and then he made sure that all their buddies got the contracts to fly people everywhere. So it's convoluted, and I unfortunately think this is going to be like Chris Christie and Bridgegate, to where Chris Christie gave the order and then everybody else went to jail, and he didn't. So I think this is going to be one of them things, but he'll regret it. But speaking of regrets in jail, this is my only question on him. If y'all have any, then you can chime in. Santos, we'll call him for the sake of argument, whatever the child's name actually may be, we do not know. Will he face any charges in Brazil ever? Is there any chance of him face? That's the question. Is there any chance of him facing charges in Brazil? Because they want him back. Douchebag, is that his name?
Matt Schlapp got bitch slapped again. He's got a
He's on the
lawsuit.
list too.
He's got a lawsuit.
I have a question about his wife too. On there.
Yeah.
Any chances? You know, I don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race, and so I didn't get the deck because I don't understand none of it. But this is one of them times where I wish I had a deck for this.
Oh my God, I have that deck. I should have pulled it out.
I get he's going to be put in defense mode. Everything's changing over murky stuff that he's done. He'll get burdened. I get a yes card at the root of this over the money. So the bad checks while his mom was working, as a healer, house care, home care, whatever. I think we'll extradite him. I think he might get blocked from being extradited because there's illumination on everything here, and that's another yes card. So he's facing judgment here for manipulations. I don't think he'll end up in trial under abstention or whatever it is.
Thank you, Hope.
He won't be present for it.
It's like the DMV take a number.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Rose. The first card I pulled was the 8 of Swords, and that's why I cackled like a hyena. And I was like, Adrian, stop being petty. If you pull another card and it confirms, then you can stop. And then the second card I pulled was Judgment, so I stopped at that point because I think Spirit was like, "You good, boo? I told you. You don't need to pull." I'm just curious. Yeah, not a cut. Yeah, he going to jail some way somehow. What's on the bottom? Yeah, for manipulation, he going to prison.
There's George Santos, Anthony DeVolder, whatever his name is. There's the stars and the letter. So I would say yes. There's mail coming. But this is, if it was this way, it would say that there's mail coming to him, but it's saying that him, something very widespread and vast to do with mail. So whether that's in Brazil or stuff, perhaps he was mailing out flyers, maybe he was doing stuff with emails for his campaign. But it's very widespread and vast. So it's kind of like, pick something. Maybe this is to do with, when he's going through for a clearance of some sort and they get the final report and hey, look, there's a whole bunch of other shit we didn't know, so it's very vast, but.
Yes, wait when I see it, but yes, the magician, there's some manipulations of things with some people in positions of power, but the King of Swords are coming for him because, mind you, the world and the devil, the world can speak to a foreign place from where you stand. So for me, Brazil would be a foreign place. But I'll go out on a limb and say Brazil is not the only place that will eventually be looking for George Santos, Anthony DeVolder, Tim the Toolman Taylor, whatever his name actually is.
He's been in some other drag clubs around the world.
I think somebody else, before this is all said and done, will be looking for home boy.
And another thing, I remember Johnny getting it on a tableau, and then we did a reading a couple of weeks ago and we got it again. Identity theft. And I got the stars, which, it's like your fame, so I wouldn't be surprised.
With a little piece of that he did do with the GoFundMe with the veteran's dog.
Yeah, he stole from a dying dog. What kind of an a-hole do you have to be to steal money from a dying dog?
They really need to pull an Obama, a Trump on Obama thing and say, "Where's your birth certificate, man?" Because I guarantee you, he's not using his real name and he's not a U.S. citizen.
I'm willing. From the bottom of my anus, I swear this man is not a U.S. citizen.
He's not. There's no way. There's no way.
You have to be a U.S. citizen for 7 years before you can run for office.
Mm-hmm. There's something. Okay, I'm keeping my mouth shut because I'm preaching to the choir. Next question.
I do want to know, just to, I don't want to say be fair, but to be fair, is this roommate, his ex-roommate, is he a truth teller or does he just have an axe to grind?
Like the one he stole the Burberry scarf from?
The one who's basically spilling all his tea now. Is he really telling the truth, or does he just have an axe to grind against Tim the Toolman Taylor here?
I gag every time you say Tim the Toolman Taylor. Oh, well. Yeah. Well. Okay.
His scarf and his Burberry shirt and some other things that he stole from his roommate.
Okay, I have to answer, and it's cracking me up.
Then you go first.
Yes, he is telling the truth. He's coming from an emotional place. He is telling the truth. He also has an axe to grind, though. But the thing is that he holds the upper hand. The ex-roommate is victorious. He is telling the truth. Everything he's saying is telling the truth. I asked why then, if he's telling the truth and he has the axe to grind. So there's both. Like, he's pissed him off. He has an axe to grind. So he's leaking factual shit. Why? Because when they lived together, he was a horrible roommate. He was awful. And like, he may have he had to throw one of them had to throw the other one out. It was awful. It was not harmonious. The scarf was the smallest thing he stole. I'm wondering too if that's where maybe an identity theft charge could come in too, because I wonder if he ran up one of the roommate's credit card or something, but he couldn't. When you do that kind of fraud, it's called domestic. So unless you're willing to throw your partner in jail, you got to pay all the fees. There's something he did something to this dude. He's not the axe to grind has merit.
Yeah,
is what I would say.
But then he stole his scarf, and then the guy confronted him, and he lied to his face and got defensive and tried to turn it around, and it's all you. And then typical sociopath, dude. I
agree, Adrian. He's done something else to that guy that involves more money. That guy's going to shine a light through the courts on some other things that he's done. He's not done with them yet. He knows more details, schemes and plans and his erratic behavior. He's not going to be satisfied till he's in jail. But he knows more about money. He's just keeping mum right now.
They're saying in the chat, Adrian, that the ex-roommates said that he stole checks too.
Yeah, he did.
I immediately heard fraud. I heard credit card, financial fraud. And I just know, unless you're willing to throw that person in jail, you got to pay that, because that's the only way you get restitution. It's like your mom steals your credit card, and charges up $400. You ain't throwing your mom in prison. You just have to take that L. But the roommates at that time, it was like they couldn't do it or something, or they tried to do it, and he got weaseled his way out of it. They got the receipts. And this is going to be wild.
Is his roommate being honest? Yeah, it was opportunity to change into something new. So when I say that, it's his roommate is being honest. He was presenting himself as a different person, as a new person, as an innocent person. So yeah, he's telling the truth. So what? He stole scarves, checks. Who knows what?
Any cash laying around?
Food out toilet paper.
I get Eight of Pentacles, day-to-day life, the details, and the strength. So I do believe that he is being accurate on what is happening, because I also get the Eight of Wands, which is the communication and the talking. There's a lot of hurt feelings as well with the Three of Swords, Page of Swords. So there's your gossip and your liar. The High Priestess and the Tower is not the greatest of combinations if you're trying to hide something. And so there will be some exposure, forced exposure with the Tower and the High Priestess. But the people you knew, the people, travels that you had, and the circles that you traveled in, there's going to be more stories. Actually, I'll stop there because the next question kind of leads. That's the way. We did last week. Go ahead.
How mind blown I am that he's now on 2 committees.
And Adrian, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, this is horrible, but at the same time, it's like, let him be the albatross around the Republican's neck.
I keep telling everybody who's panicking, I'm like, let them do themselves in. Let's just sit. This is going to be the long game where we may have to be a little patient.
It's coming out that McCarthy knew about it before, you know, saying, "Oh, he should stay here, and vote for me for speaker and stuff." And
then all the other New York Republicans are pissed off at McCarthy because they want him out, and McCarthy's like, "Nope, you're innocent."
They put the guy forward. It's like they're in cahoots with McCarthy too. They're talking to him. It's like they all knew before.
Let them swearing in. Let them ruin themselves. I'll just sit back and drink a whole bunch of Sham Ripple.
Mm-hmm. Get the popcorn, Adrian. Get the popcorn.
Yeah.
Last week we did a read. What's his next lie? And I thought it was a list, and he did admit, I think, this morning that he was young and having fun. That's why he dressed up as a woman, not necessarily a drag queen. The drag queen is different than cross dressing. That's not the same thing. It's performance art. Drag queen is serious business, and it takes a lot of money to be one too. Sometimes
and skill.
None of that cheap. So, what I want to know is what's his next lie. What's the next lie coming out from Tim the Tool and Taylor? What's next? And the dog thing, the drag queen thing. There was one more other one came out too.
Do we know his sexuality?
Okay, see, he's gay, but he says he's not because he was married to a woman at one point.
Okay.
I don't even think he knows. He probably lied so much he believes his own lies that he doesn't know if he's gay or straight.
Is he a confirmed homosexual, or is he just we know but he don't know?
It's not confirmed. Anybody put the stamp on it and said yes.
Okay. It's gonna be about why he and his ex-wife divorced, or something about for entertainment purposes only, about a child that had to be a pregnancy that had to be terminated. So I'll put that. He's gonna lie about why he and his wife were together in a pregnancy that had to be terminated. So like he's gonna say that she was pregnant with his baby, she terminated the pregnancy, and that's why he walked away from the marriage. And there's some secrets and stuff behind it, and he's gonna it's because there may be something that's getting ready to come out about his sexuality. I think the drag queen thing may have him gruffuckled, so now he's gonna start talking all the smack about how he loves. Ooh, Adrian, this is a mixed audience. Say this politely. He loves the women's and loves the women so much. When his ex-wife found out she was pregnant and terminated the pregnancy, he had to walk away because he's a family man, and that's a bridge too far. Johnny, stop.
Let me put my lips on before I start talking about.
I'm trying to think of a way to say it.
Yeah, I see you editing over there.
Yeah, I'm getting your video blocked. He bullied some people.
Were they little people?
They were little people. There's a lot of little people. There's like an abundance of little people at a party.
Oh.
There's like a whole network of people he's in on it with.
Oh.
And there's a lot of Republicans. I'll leave it at that.
I get that.
Matt Gaetz probably loves him. I'll put it that way.
Well, he hosted him on the show the other day when Steve Bannon was gone.
Yeah.
So there's that. I just don't think Matt Gaetz realizes that Homeboy's batting for the same team, but whatever. Who knows? Maybe he is batting on both teams. I don't know. You're muted, Adrian.
Good, because what I said probably should not have been broadcast.
Said out loud.
I got he took an opportunity to make a payment for surgery. I'll just leave it at that.
So, there's something about a relationship that was terminated here, Two of Pentacles and Two of Cups and the Ten of Swords. So there's relationship terminated. Also a party or some sort of, not three-way in the menage sense, like three-way as in you were living double lives with several different people at the same time, that you were supposed to be a family man. I'm going to say something very vulgar, so turn your sound down or mute it for entertainment purposes only. There's a song, and the lyric is, I love my wife and I love my children, but I like a little dick every now and then. So that's kind of his soundtrack right about now. He has double lives going on, and I think his straight relationships are business related, and then everything else is supposed to be done in secret. And so there's something about a termination of a relationship. And so that's one of the things coming up. We'll see.
But this is the part that I don't understand. Why is he aligning himself with the party that is openly hostile towards gay, towards transgenders, towards
because
look at how many are convicted of pedophilia and stuff.
There's an article. Oh, go ahead. Adrian, you muted.
Am I still muted?
Oh, no, go ahead.
I think because he's a sociopath and he wanted to be a congressman, and he knows he would never fly with the Democrats or independents.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, we all know you're trash, dude, and it keeps coming out on the daily. And out there throwing white power symbols on the floor of Congress, and we saw the pictures.
Because that's the group who accepted it.
Yeah, that's the group who accepted him. They don't care.
Where's my thing? There's an article.
He did lie to the voters, though. He did lie to the voters, so they voted him in on. They were duped, really, So there's that, but you're surrounded by.
He's a member of the New York Young Republicans, I think is what it's called. They are aligned with white nationalist groups, and that's why he threw up the little homeboy sign at the thing, because
I bet you he mentors a lot of those young people.
Mm-hmm.
Put it that way.
And here's the thing, though. In Congress, the only people that are associating themselves with him are people that are openly hostile towards people in those demographics. Matt Gaetz, not Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Paul Gosar. These are people that are openly hostile to those demographics. But, yeah.
Double lives. Speaking of which, Matt Schlapp is being sued for $9.4 million for defamation because he allegedly assaulted one of the aides that was driving him from one of the functions or whatever they were doing for Herschel Walker. And he is allegedly have assaulted this man, and then he and his wife, Mercedes Schlapp, which I have a question on her, they supposedly defamed this man's character after the story came out. And so how will that case go? $9.4 million for assault and defamation.
Mercedes, he's got copies of the text now. The Mercedes said a lot of crap to people, trying to ruin.
I think she first got into politics under George Bush, and then she also worked for Donald Trump too, to show you who she's aligned with, if you didn't know. They got married in 2002. That was two.
Yeah, that marriage is a sham.
That's my next question.
We know who wears the pants in that family.
I was like, that's a good way of putting it, Jen.
Because you married, but your husband in the back of cars filling up on workers.
I
Like,
was like, dude, looks like a lady.
something ain't right. Just live your own truth. Whoever don't accept it ain't got to. But you don't need to be running around with wives and stuff, and they think you're one person and you're actually something else. That's my problem.
Unless you're Mike Pence's wife, who you know he's over there wearing your dresses.
Jesus. Mike Pence's wife been married to Duracell batteries. They hold marriage, so I ain't.
Here's my problem. Maybe we have an agreement of, Adrian, I'm a little bit more on the fluid side. Sometimes I feel real pretty when I put on a necklace and some high heels and a little bit of lingerie. And maybe I'm okay with that. My problem is if I come home and that motherfucker's wearing one of my dresses, my shoes, and that motherfucker looks better in it than me, I am whooping everybody at house's behind. I'm sorry. Absolutely. Absolutely not. You do not. How dare you? Unmitigated gall and audacity for you to put on my panties, my brassieres, my days, my 50 pumps, bitch, my Birkin bag, and you swinging that shit, looking good, better than me. On sight, I'm whooping that behind.
He's already won this, but I get there's going to be a lot of new corruption coming out on this guy because he's been manipulated more crotches than one. I'll put it that way. How's that? I'm not even going to read the rest of this. He's going to have more lawsuits. I'll put it that way.
Yes, he's going to have to pay out a lot. Is the outcome that I am getting. The card I can't show you because it slid. Never mind. He needs to be careful though. Things are about to change right now. That's his word of warning. All of the manipulation that he tried to do, all of the fighting that's happening, more manipulation. That is real quick. Real quick. Tides are gonna turn. He's going to be sacrificed because there's more people, more situations involved. Like Jen said, it's about this money. All about he's gonna have to pay. Something may come up too where there's gonna be some jail time.
He would do well in jail.
He would have a good.
His cellmate will like him.
Yeah.
Yep. He would do very well in jail.
I get that there's something very important on a phone about a conversation. So
Could be those text messages.
But this is, there's the bird. So this is communication as a thing. This would be a phone. There's something very important about it. Or access to the phone, access to those voicemails, messages, communications, meetings. It's going to take some time though. So it's going to go well, but it's almost like there's evidence of something on a phone or over or communication, but it's not a he said, she said. There's some sort of evidence to it, if that makes sense.
So if I were advising Mr. Schlapp, I would say, bare thy soul and pray like hell. That's what I would say. Because this is going to get worse. This aide was the one who spoke out. This is not the first person that you have encountered. The Two of Cups and the Star. There is going to be, and this is not for you, there's going to be an agreement, and I'll say why it's not for you. Actually, tarot lesson time. Let's go here. Major Arcana means major knowledge. Minor Arcana means minor knowledge. I don't really read one more important than the other because your whole spread is the information that I have to give you. So I don't say majors take precedent and I read those first or nothing like that. But you have 6 out of 10 cards major. Major means there's a lot of changes coming your way. You can expect those changes. Like I said previously in another read, if you are moving to another state, you know you're moving. It's in your read. It's a major change, but it's not out of nowhere. You've expected it because you've already been planning and so forth and so forth. In this case, the first one is the Star. That's usually hope and healing, but it's also attention, center of attention, too much attention. There's more people that are coming out because the nostalgia card is also here. So a lot of this is what I use for people coming back from the past. The Judgment are things coming back from the past. So there's a lot of people that are coming back that you thought have once gone. Word of warning is the deeds that are coming out here. This is not going to be pretty whatsoever. There's going to be more investigations. That's why I say this is not the only one, because there's a Justice card. So investigating something legal, you are going to have another case, possibly, not saying it because it's not here necessarily, but possibly of assault for the next person. And then it ends in the Tower. This is why I said bear thy soul and pray like hell, because you're going to fall, but you do have a little bit of a say in how much it hurts. Because if you go and you bare your soul and you say, you know what, I screwed up, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Let me make amends, my own personal healing journey, never mind what the world says, you've already judged me anyway. Let me move forward and try to make something of the rubble that's about to fall, but that's not probably what you're going to do. So it ends in the Tower. This is it ain't gonna be pretty. $9.4 million is a drop in the bucket for what's going to happen.
I think this is going to be a pretty significant case for multiple reasons. A, it's a little bit high profile. Women have been battling this unwanted sexual advancements forever. I mean, look at Andrew Cuomo, lost his job over it. Women in the workforce, it's just going on and on and on. And I don't care if John Doe is gay or straight or whatever he is, an unwanted sexual advance is an unwanted sexual advance. It doesn't matter if he's straight or gay. I don't care.
It doesn't matter what his culture is like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or his orientation.
You might as well write a blank check for everybody to grope you.
Just like it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what a woman's wearing. An unwanted advance is an unwanted advance. This to me, is really, because it's male on male, is really going to be significant, and it's really going to help drive home what women have been fighting for a long time.
I have a question though. Who's this Matt Schlapp person?
He's the head of CPAC, right? Isn't he, or something like that?
Oh, CPAC? Shut the front door right now. The crazy evangelicals that hate the gays?
Lots of money.
Shut the front door right now.
Hey, let me say too.
I love it. Gay bashers that are over there groping men. Yeah.
Let me say too that this is also, because he is right now still anonymous, which I would say stay that way if you can. I'm not going to say his name if he does come out here, unless that's something that he comes out to try to be some sort of advocate, then I would say it. But the man who was assaulted, men in these positions usually don't come forward because sometimes, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but sometimes the first thing people say is, why didn't you hit him, or something of that nature. And so it's not, humans don't need to respond to everything in barbaric terms. You don't have to go assault someone because they assaulted you in that manner. Take them to court like you're doing now, play the system, play it in the system. The Golden Globes just passed, the award show. Brendan Fraser,
Finally.
he came out, he said, I'm protesting because the head of the foreign media press assaulted me. And Terry, what's his last name?
Crews.
Bodybuilder, Terry Crews, he was assaulted by a man. So this is not something a lot of men in Hollywood come out and say. The man who, damn it, what is his name? He was the House of Cards guy.
Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey. He was called out for assaulting. So it's like that's something that most men don't come forward and say. So hopefully a new conversation is birthed out of that too. But speaking of conversations, how is the marriage between Mercedes Schlapp and Matt Schlapp, or whatever his name is?
Mercedes is going to get her a new Mercedes.
That's usually how it happens.
Or a Rolls Royce or Bentley. Or
she may have to sell the one she has to help pay for that $9.4 million lawsuit.
$9.4 million ain't cute.
Unless she can divorce real quick and separate them assets.
I'm going to look from her perspective. How's the marriage?
The question was, how's their marriage, Johnny?
Yes, because your husband is accused of something that I'm pretty sure you didn't co-sign.
Oh, hell. I mean, I don't even need to pull anymore.
And I wonder if she's like Mother and she's got the wool over her eyes, or if she knows exactly who he is and this is marriage of convenience, or like what's that like there? Because she's a Trumper, so you know.
There's an ad on TV right now for a free legal help, 1-800-free legal help. I wonder if free consultation. I'm like, I wonder if Trump's calling in.
That's not coincidence. No means no all the time.
The leader of CPAC was groping a man while their whole thing is bash the gays and the LGBTQ and everybody else.
Pray the gay away and everything else.
What state just put back in place conversion therapy, which is
like Wyoming or something like that?
Child abuse.
Yeah, which is basically freaking child abuse. Meanwhile, the people pushing for that shit are the ones groping the help in the car.
Or tapping their foot in the men's room.
Make that make sense. Make it make sense.
Me think that lady protests just a little tiny too much.
Mm-hmm.
And why are you worried about what other people do behind closed doors, you pervs?
It's not biblical, Jen. It's just not right. Jesus don't like it. She's got Jesus touching his pearls.
Jesus ain't had sex a day in his life according to the Bible, so why would he care about yours? So
that's why they're even more mad. They feel everybody should be celibate like Jesus. And if you're only going to have sex, you shouldn't enjoy it. And it should only be missionary so you can procreate.
So you can have children.
It's done. They walking away. She walking away. They ain't happy. You know, I mean, obviously. Here's the thing, though. She's known about this. This is not new. We're not surprised. She's known. The things that are going to come out, though, she's going to have some. The fact that she's known, she's going to try to lie, but we're going to know that she's a fat liar. Yeah. A lot's going to come out, and she is going to have to. My recommendation is, if she wants to be victorious in this, she better come up with her strategy to throw him under the bus very quickly. Mm-hmm. I think her key to getting out of this marriage and to being successful is going to be to throw him under the bus and do it quickly. Get ahead of this story. The adage in PR, he who tells the story first wins. She needs to get ahead of the story now. Use that groping as a way to file her divorce so she can separate her assets and be done.
She's looking at that right now because she's going to lie for him right now, but she's looking at her options with the family money and how to retain her strength through all this, because the truth is out in the past. Everything's changing. They're going to be paying the money out. I think they're losing the lawsuit. I think she may even say, oh, he drinks too much. He's not in control when he drinks too much. Tries to change the narrative on it. But he's got a sexual addiction. He sleeps around. I think she's looking for an attorney, and I think that marriage is over.
Jen, is he sexually when you say he has a sex addiction, do you think he's indiscriminate and will just sleep, or is he?
I think she'll say he's got a sex addiction.
Gotcha. Okay, because you're looking at it from her perspective. Okay.
I get that the marriage itself, it's for publicity. There's something here with the widespread social media influence campaign sort of thing, but there's a lot of stuff they keep secret. I get that they don't separate or anything. It's solid. They're not going anywhere. It's deeply rooted, solid, boring as hell. So to answer Adrian's question, this is the type of marriage where you schedule sexual interaction on a Tuesday at 7 o'clock, missionary only.
And it's done by 7:05.
Yeah. Start at 7, it's done by 7:05.
You can take a shower and watch Jeopardy by 7:30.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. I don't really want to say marriage of convenience, but it kind of is. They're comfortable. Do you see what I'm saying? Their social standing is comfortable. They're seen very favorably within this organization where they have a lot of fame. This would be like social media, but it's also fame with a very large group of people with an audience. They do have influence over it. They see themselves as trying to change society in some way, and they know how to do it, but they also hold a lot of secrets, and it's very solid. They're not, it's like, okay, well, you screwed around, so I'm going to go screw the pool boy. We'll keep it quiet. You do you, and I do me, because we have a lot of important stuff to do. And that's it. Important stuff to do, meaning I like the money. I'm comfortable. Don't change my lifestyle, you know? Yeah, the country club people. So.
Well, I get the 7 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles. There's something that you have that is going to be a burden. Whatever elevated you, which is fame and publicity, I suppose, is now going to be a bit of a juggle because you don't know how to control the narrative. Because this one's going to be very difficult to control, especially if more people start to trickle out and it becomes sort of a stamp. This is your husband's behavior, not just one-off person accusing him of something. I do see there may be a bit of a cash poor problem here with the Sun and the 5 of Pentacles that may be illuminated. Either you're going to say your money is tied up in some sort of parcel. I keep hearing the word parcel, so I think that's like when you use your house for your business or something. I don't know, but there's something where your money is tied up in something, and so you may try to use that as a defense. The Wheel of Fortune, the Justice, and the Ace, or the Hermit. There's something about isolation. So I don't know if you're doing like legal separation or what you're doing, but there's some sort of legal thing over time for separation or isolation. The CPAC thing may be going to the crapper, or whatever this whoever you work for. It's in the word of warning. The 3 of Pentacles. Collaboration is going to take a real nosedive. There's also going to be a lot of chaos, which is hence juggling. The Knight of Swords is chaotic. You can't control it, though. The Knight of Swords is the bull in the china shop. You just get out of the way until it runs out of steam type thing. And Page of Wands, your narrative is what needs to be controlled, but you can't. So
I'm wondering if they're gonna toss him, because it was Stars, Garden, Stork, Book, and Treat, and then if you read the mirrors, it's Stars, Stork, and Treat. So I'm wondering if there's going to be, hey, this guy is giving us bad press. You gotta change somebody at the top
because they don't look good.
We're supposed to be hidden because he's not doing gay stuff, you know.
He used to run around with Mike Pence a lot, until
I bet
Trump
you
took over in 2016.
I bet you him and Pence were in the backseat of a limo somewhere playing footsies.
They was at the hunting camp. I keep trying to tell y'all. I didn't make that up. Well, speaking of people in double lives, can we look at the health or the well-being of Vladimir Putin? There's been a few questions on how's he doing, so if we can take a little look at that. They deny, even one of our government agencies here denied he was sick, but everybody else, it's either that agency is lying or everybody else is. So,
and he hasn't been seen in public in a little while. Wonder if he's like Kim Jong-un. He's got a stand-in.
She typed in Putin. I just think of a tin can full of feces.
I mean, that's kind of what he is.
Oh, that was funny. I'm sorry.
A big walking bucket of shite, if I have ever seen one.
I need to grow up because that was really funny. Okay. Oh. That's how I'm going to spell it all the time now. Lord. Okay, there you go.
Oh, good Lord. Let's come all out at once then, shall we?
I get genetically, he's got something going on in his colon that's a problem, runs in the family. I get there's some kind of celebration going on in the government right now. So I do think he's ill. I don't think he's dead though. But he's like in a rough moment. He may have fallen recently, but I get also he may have contracted COVID. Got my COVID card here. He's his immune system is weakened, which tells me like if he's got cancer or something and he's on chemo, his white count's off. His immune system is very, very weakened. He's got a bad back also. Yeah, he's got stomach intestinal tract issues, so
Heart too.
may have may be on a liquid diet. Like he can't digest things.
Becca, did you want to go?
I did a box spread, so it might take me a minute. So you can go if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm here for the knowledge.
So I did a box spread. I see changes and fluctuations to weight and changes and fluctuations to appetite. Like it improves, but then it diminishes. It improves and then it diminishes. Does that make sense? Chronic pain, a lot of chronic pain, chronic stress as well. But it's like something is with the mice. It's almost like that's viral bacterial infections. Any sort of infections. I don't get cancer. I don't get anything metastasizing. I get chronic pain, some sort of a chronic illness, fluctuation in weight and appetite, emotionally isolated. Let me see here. The cross has to do with the back. The whip is the male genitalia, so maybe he broke his dick in his back.
Becca.
Or prostate issue.
You know, but it's and then I got the crossroads too, which the crossroads is usually the arteries and the veins, but I don't get the heart or anything. I just see it improves and then it goes bad. It improves and it goes bad, and there was a lot of chronic pain there, and it's more than one area that's in pain. So, but it's a condition that's very painful and very difficult to improve with the storks, the tree, and the cross. So,
I'm wondering if he has like diverticulitis, something like that in the colon, because that can be very painful.
What's diverticulitis?
It's where you get pockets in your colons that fester and is very painful. It makes it so you have trouble eating. Everything like runs through you. It's
or backs up in a very violent way.
Because I see the storks, which is pregnancy. The moon would be the female womb. The bear is the stomach, but it's also your appetite. The whip is male genitalia. The cross is the back. So I'm just telling you what I see. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to, because by the time I tell you everything, it's going to sound like he's a walking encyclopedia of medical diseases. So all I'm saying is fluctuations in appetite, improvement diminishes, but then it goes up, but then it diminishes, and chronic pain. So that's all I'll say on that.
I got that too.
Yeah. It's painful. He is definitely physically sick, because I do have the physical health card in possessions. It's something he contracted.
Did he get the herp? Did he get the herp?
Could be the syphilitis, the encephalitis, all of that. Jen said, it could have been a little icky, sticky, but it's something he contracted. So I don't know if it's necessarily, people are saying cancer, Parkinson's. It's something like viral is what I'm getting with the possession card with the physical health. Impact stomach. He has not, the thing is that he sat on this so long, there's going to be some heart trouble, or at least at bare minimum, some cardiovascular issues with this. He sat on it. It's kind of like when you've got syphilis, and syphilis becomes gum of the cerebellum, because you let that syphilis sit and fester, and then your brain starts to do what it does. It's something like that, where whatever this sticky, icky, and also too, long COVID does have impacts of the brain and your memory and things like that. So that could
the circulatory system.
And COVID breaks your dick.
Shut up, Becca.
Well, they were asking, Trillium Tara was asking, like, what do we know that we're talking about breaking dicks?
I'm trying to be a professional and keep saying breaking dick, and
I'm sorry.
I'm with Jen. It's like, I feel like long COVID or something like that, because it's also throat too. Yes, he's a chronic liar and blah blah blah, throat chakra, blah blah blah. But no, this is like and his head. Yeah, it could be a syphilis type thing. Because and then the last is all in here, tummy. Yeah. So he's sick. He sat on it too long. Should have gone to the doctor.
Pride.
Yep.
I get a balance issue with the Justice Page of Wands, Five of Swords. There is something wrong one of his sides type of thing, not stroke, but it's like something is wrong to where he may have to walk with a stick, and maybe that's why you don't see him, so he doesn't appear weak. But there's something where his balance is off, and one side of his body it's not paralyzed, but it's like the fibromyalgia. It's like inflamed. It hurts, and so it's really hard to move it. And so there's something wrong with one side of his body. Also, with the Three of Cups, there's something wrong with ingestion of things. He either can't digest, or he can't keep it down, or won't stay in, or something. But there's something wrong with either food, to where he's always on liquid diet, or there's something wrong with his appetite, as Becca said. There's something wrong with taking something in and keeping it in, or keeping it down, or something of that nature too.
Just bear with me. I watch a lot of crime TV. Told y'all I fall asleep to the forensic files, because I'm morbid, and it's because
my brother does it too. I don't know how you do that.
Commit a crime, Adrian, you know what to do.
What to do.
If you ever need to unalive somebody and disappear them, you know what to do.
I was listening to Johnny. I'm thinking back on all the symptoms all of us have said, and I saw something in the chat, and the light bulb went off. The symptoms we all described are very similar to somebody who is being slowly
poisoned.
Antifreeze in particular.
Antifreeze.
Mm.
Same.
Eat it up, baby.
Is that undetectable, like the eye drop thing?
It's going to take a very long time. You have to.
No, I mean, as in you can't taste it.
It tastes very sweet.
That's
Oh,
why
good
dogs
Lord.
get sick, because if somebody spills antifreeze,
Dogs and cats. Yeah.
They'll eat
dogs
it.
and cats will eat it because it's sweet, and then they
Very
end up
sweet.
poisoned. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh Lord.
I was just thinking all of these symptoms, and when somebody's like, "How many times has he poisoned people?" I'm like, somebody may be giving him a little antifreeze, because that's exactly what this. It's the stomach ache, the hair loss, the craziness. The when you said the mobility issues, that's one of the big ones too. The heart.
What about arsenic or cyanide too?
Those are like
They're more immediate.
they're more
Well, they hurt a lot faster.
yeah.
Somebody got creative and is making him some foxglove berries that he doesn't know about, and he's just
The antifreeze is harder now. We kind of, doctors would kind of know now, but even then, that would be one of the last things they think of. They would think of like, oh, he's got the stomach bug, or he broke his penile, or he, XYZ, or maybe this is long COVID. They wouldn't go, oh, I think that sweet tea you were drinking was flavored with a little arsenic. Not arsenic, excuse me, antifreeze.
I mean, that would be karmic justice right there. Oh, here you go. Here's some cereal with milk, and it's really cereal with a bowl of arsenic or antifreeze. There you go.
Not saying for entertainment purposes and educational purposes only. YouTube, calm down.
We have done an entire live stream without a Donald Trump question, so I will continue that stream or continue that trend. I have more of a convoluted thing. It's kind of about him, though, a little bit, and someone risking their life and limb for his sake type of thing. So let's get rid of that. We've done good old bras, that fool. There is a woman by the name of Kim Taylor. Her husband's name is Jeremy Taylor. And they are in, if I saved it correct, and I did not. Anyway, they are she is right now being charged with 50 counts of 50 felony charges of voter fraud.
What?
For the sake of Donald Trump.
What? Wait.
And for the sake of her husband, who was running for office. He was running for, I think, the House of Representatives, if I'm not mistaken. He was running for Congress of some sort. So she's being charged with 50 felony charges, including 26 counts of providing false information in registering and voting, and 3 counts of fraudulent registration, and 23 counts of fraudulent voting. So Kim Taylor
Could
is
be
now
spending millennia in prison.
She has been charged with 50 counts. You know what, C. Writer? I'm going to actually look that up because I knew at first because he still has a position somewhere. And so that's what I need to figure out where they are.
As much as these Republicans like to scream about voter fraud,
Iowa.
everyone that's been charged with voter fraud and parade them around so that they can all see the only people committing voter fraud are Republicans. So
since she's being charged, I actually don't want to know so much about her. I mean, we can look at her too, but he is the Woodbury, Woodbury, Woodbury County Supervisor. Right now, currently, he is still the county supervisor there in Iowa for Woodbury County. So he holds a position, and his wife is being charged with 50 felony counts of voter fraud. So what is this going to happen, or what's going to happen to him as a result of her voter fraud? Anything? Are they going to tie it together, or is he just going to let her go down by herself, or what? 50 felony charges of voter fraud. 49ers won. Go 49ers. Oh, that, you know what? Actually, Sharon Sipe, the Patreon is going to be deleted at the end of this month, so you don't have to post those anymore. I'm going to switch to live classes instead of the recorded ones. And so the live class will be, someone emailed me about it tonight. There is still spots. So that starts on March the 3rd.
Thank you, Sharon, though, for posting links.
Yes, thank you very much. So is she going down by herself or him too? Me too, Trillium. What you get, Vic? That face.
I get that he's committed to the law and he's going to try to rise above this and try to clean up his act and this has nothing to do with me. But honestly, there may be some sort of an offer for him to retire. I say that very loosely. I don't get that he's in trouble, but an offer to retire.
That has to be it, because in the environment, he's worried. He's like, yo ass, like really. He's gonna move forward trying to hold a united front with his wife. They may even try to come up with something to kind of get her, smooth her name. You got some kind of lie, something. He's anxious, worried. It's in the environment, though. He knows this is not going to bode well for him. He's going to try to hold on. He wants to hold on so badly, but the outcome is actually the devil, which is, stop throwing cards. Very interesting. I think he's gonna have a hard time balancing staying committed to his wife, holding her side. I think he's kind of torn. He wants to keep his job, but he may, like you said, I think if he does leave, he's gonna have to find a way to retire.
Unless you pull the whole Clarence Thomas, Jenny Thomas situation.
Half the stuff she was doing, she did for him.
Yeah.
Which is why this was the outcome for me. Go ahead.
All this sneaky stuff going on, judge is going to be like, you manipulated how many votes? You going away for a long, long time. I get he changes and turns his back on her, although he might try to help fight this. There's going to, he'll lie to try to cover up for her, like, I didn't know. He better lawyer up. Because he's somehow trapped in this too. And this is going to spread. This is going to take wings.
I wonder if they were working together. Like he was telling her what to do. And
I just asked that. Did he put her up to it?
Because it was for him too. Because she was because he was running for office.
Yeah, because I got ring tower lilies. So there's some sort of a legal agreement between them.
And the devil came back up again. He put her up to this. Yeah. The Ten of Pentacles, the Temperance, the Tower, Ace of Swords, the devil, he put her up to it. And that's why the devil keeps being the outcome. It's him. He's the asshole. He's the one.
Mm-hmm.
It's him. It's not her. It's him.
Like, I'll throw my wife under the bus.
Yep.
And I won't get arrested until your wife goes, I'm paying $250.
Yeah, he did. He still lost. Yeah.
He's driving over his own wife.
Yeah.
He's going to bury her over in plot 2 next to Ivana.
Bedminster. Next to Ivana.
I wasn't asking about her, but I got her anyway. There is the Tower, the Queen of Cups, and the World. So she's done. But there's the King of Pentacles, the Justice card, and the Ten of Swords. So this is going to come back to haunt him as well. As Adrian said, I think he may be convinced to retire. So there's that. The word of warning is the Fool card. This was done foolishly, yes, but it lacked the detail to hide it. It lacked the detail. It's almost like if you were standing in the middle of a forest, right, and something hits you in the back of the head, you knew what direction it came from. So then you turn, and then it hits you in the forehead. So now you know it's coming from this direction. So it's almost like you weren't trying to conceal what you were doing. You kept throwing stuff, and it leads right back to you. So this was just a matter of time, Wheel of Fortune. This was one of those things, and maybe this is part of your karma. I don't know, but good luck to you. I love that. You can book a reading at jinlintarot.com. There you go. See what's going to happen for you.
I'd be like, get your affairs in order. You going bye-bye.
So before we go, I want to do a fun question and not a necessarily political or news question. Someone asked in the comments, and I figured we'd ask this. Before I do, though, there are still spots for the tarot class. If you want to sign up, just email me at tarotsapprentice@gmail.com. I'm not taking payments right now. We're just taking reservations just in case life happens and we have to push it or move it or whatever. But it starts March the 3rd at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and it goes to about 6:30. But just email me if you want all the details and all that type of stuff. So anyhow, somebody on Earth just won $1 billion in the Mega Millions lottery or whatever one it was. $1 billion. So someone in the comments asked, why don't psychics see the lottery numbers? I want to know this too. Okay, I bought a ticket. I won nothing.
I would pay off, first of all, after they took my student loans out. That would definitely not be $1 billion anymore. But I would go and randomly pay like as many student loans as I can.
That's the thing that runs through my head to do, is to go to like hospitals and schools and like just pay the chunks of bills, because that's the thing that cripples everybody's personal finances, medical and student loans. So that's where I'm
about it.
Well, Carrie, thank you for your question.
And then I'd take a couple million and sit on it and just let that interest scratch my butt every couple months. I can't psychics see all the numbers. Yeah. Spirit is so messy.
Well, Sterling Roses, if I had the numbers, I'd give them to you too.
Oh, they're getting silly with me. So they want us to be surprised too. And it's also, like we've grown so much through many lifetimes and healed so much and everything. But if we're ever investigated, they don't want us, being able to say how we got the numbers or anything. So I get it's like, yep, nope, not going to give it to you.
We'd create an unfair advantage because we'd always win. So it'd be a bunch of people who won, unfair advantage. It would eventually come out that we were using this, and so they would either have to change the lottery and how the numbers are done. It would have to be like automatically auto-generated or something like that, or it would cause a big ripple on the lottery system itself. But we would definitely milk that to our advantage, and that's just not fair. Not all of us have ethics, y'all.
Well, wasn't there a guy that won the lottery like 3 times or 4 times back to back playing numbers from the Bible? Years and years ago. I don't know. I get the woman, the tower, the storks, the bird, and the trees. There's a woman, ambition, improved communication with spirit. So why? Because of ambition. They want you to focus on improving your communication with spirit. With the woman, the storks, and the tree, it's almost like improving your spirituality. Not your religion or anything dogmatic. It's about improving your spirituality, evolving in a sense. And with the tower and birds, it's almost like with the tower, there's a sense of isolation. So it's almost like isolate your communication. So it's the focus isn't material. It's the focus is improving yourself spiritually, whatever that may mean to you. That's what I get.
Focus on your spirituality and not your material needs.
Yeah.
So we're not giving you lottery numbers.
That's
I get it's kind of the same thing to where the Queen of Wands, that's my reader card, the Three of Swords. It's not really part of your skill set to be a lottery machine. You're supposed to be giving out psychic advice, basically, is what you're supposed to do, part of your reader contract. Because anybody can read cards, maybe not well, but anybody can read them. Seven of Swords, Four of Wands. There may be some schemes a cooking. You may think you are strong enough to not, but when human beings are given the chance to, then sometimes the not is not so not anymore. And so you give me the chance to win $1 billion, and then I spend half of that, and I think, oh, if I just had another $500 million, I could do it. So it's one of them things to where slippery slope. Because personal finance is here with the Nine of Pentacles. And I think also this may be part of somebody else's karma and somebody else's family tree for them to win that money at that time in their life. And that's just not something for you to come and manipulate with your magic cards or your sacred connection.
And may I please add, with the Tower, this is also the card of ego because it deals with ambition. So this is not about ego. And what happens when you come into a lot of money? Everybody's different, I understand, but then all of a sudden, you know what? It's ego. And it's the reading is elevate yourself spiritually. It's not about your ego. Material stuff, you know, like that makes sense.
Let go of the earth to lift the spirit. That's what I want you to do.
I'm superficial. I'm sorry. I would totally.
And here's the thing, like all of us think that amount of money would be freaking magnificent. I wouldn't complain, but you got to remember the other side of the coin too. With that kind of money comes a whole slew of problems too. Your bills might be paid, but then you got to hire 800 attorneys, 800 accountants, a whole team to watch the other team.
And then not to mention, like, even if like it takes a really strong person to win that amount of money and just go incognito.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because then in anybody, and that's why I told you guys I had a friend in high school or classmate in high school who won $243 million. It was broke in 2 years. Yeah.
And that they say that a lot about lotto winners, that they come into all this money and next thing you know they're bankrupt with
I'm not joking. I'm not saying this is not a joke. Literally everybody in Erica's trailer park came looking for her for a handout. And it didn't matter what she did. And like Johnny always says best, and I say it to anybody, don't ask for more money in your prayers, ask for the ability to manage the money you have.
Yeah.
And she just managed the money you got. But I'm also superficial, and I would be in the Louis Vuitton store, and I'd also be paying off my student loan debt and everybody else's. And Jen would have 18 kitty gazebos.
I would do the same thing. I'm just saying, like, I'll keep it real. I'll do the same. I would pay off my house and pay off my bills. I'd do a bunch of shit I need to do, and take care of those that I love and that I consider family and my family. But at the same time, though, you got to think about all them problems. Everybody knocking on your door. Hey, remember me from kindergarten?
Like, how many TarotsApprentice? How many decks do you have now? 3,421. I got 4 on the deck.
A whole room in a house that's like a whole room that's like 3,000 square feet.
Covered in cards. Well, hopefully I don't be like those hoarder houses where I'm like dead underneath a big box of cards and you never find me.
My next door neighbor. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Please don't revisit. Okay. Thank y'all. Thank you, Adrian, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, guys.
in our petty
Thank
party.
you so much.
Always fun with Adrian.
Be here. Thank you, guys.
And I thank all 1,900 of y'all that were in here. Thank you very much for hanging out with us on Sunday. Thank you all for chatting in the chat. It does help the channel. Thank you all for the thumbs up and the super chats and all that good stuff too. 2023 ain't going to be that bad, hopefully. So we will be on Jen Lynn Tarot next week, and we will put a post up for questions getting close to the Sunday. So thank y'all very much, and see y'all later.
Here's to seeing what George